West Texas was developed by strong families whose legacies form the culture we enjoy as West Texans.
John Arden and Joseph Tweedy both arrived in the Concho Valley at the same year, 1877, bringing their sheep.
Joseph Tweedy and his partners, Grinnell and Reynolds, brought the sheep industry into the Concho Valley. They took a ship from New York City to Galveston and then rode a box wagon from there. The reason they stopped here is because there was plenty of water. You have to remember there were no mesquite trees. The grass was as high as the belly of the horses. But also, think about these letters they're writing. Ben Ficklin assured that there would be a post office, and also Fort Concho provided protection.
And there was very little population, no competition. You think about that's kind of amazing in the sense that they had the confidence, the drive to do this adventurous thing with really no help other than their own resources. That's pretty amazing.
Joseph Tweedy was a wonderful writer, and he was diligent in corresponding with his father about the business and his mother about everyday life, and his sister as well.
All of these letters are at the West Texas collection at ASU, and they're used by history students, English students, even journalism students. When we talk about Joseph and Elizabeth Tweedy, our great-grandparents, one of the things that they ingrained in each generation following them was that we are all connected. They have ingrained in us a sense, a bond. When my grandparents lived at the ranch, they would have each of the cousins, their sisters and brothers' children, come for the summer to work and play with each other. And to me, that's what they've given us more than anything.
We were always getting together at reunions, we're always visiting each other.
And it's still going on because we have reunions every 5 years. And it seems like every reunion, the number of people increase.
There was so much involvement in the ranch that every one of our relatives can have a tie to the ranch as to their heritage. And so in a sense, I've always thought the ranch was an emotional nerve center for the Tweedy family that we can all come back to and connect with.
It's as if the ranch is the heartbeat of the family.
The Knickerbocker community was a big part of ranching, and a lot of their labor came from families there. And the community shared their crops, their fruits, their vegetables, and it was a close-knit community. And today still, we have ancestors that were at my great-grandfather's time that have ancestors still in Knickerbocker.
Well, 4 generations of the Martinez family?
Yes.
3 generations of the Martinez family have been foremen of the ranch.
And a 4th generation that's been out there just to work, which is Chico, that's helped us. Paul Martinez's grandfather was Bernabe Martinez, who was in the historical books of Tom Green County. And his descendants are still a part of our family, even though they're not related. We're close to them.
The original ranch was Knickerbocker Ranch, and our brand was the Circle K. For a while, Eva's grandfather ran the ranch in the 30s, and my grandfather was a mining engineer in Ecuador. Because of your grandfather passed away, he came back to Texas to take over the ranch. And then I think at that point is when the Tweedy Ranch Company started.
The ranch was partitioned, and the Sykes part of the family have the name Knickerbocker Ranch. And my sisters, Barbara, Patricia, and I have another portion of the ranch, and we call that Tweedy Ranch. And I think most ranchers today try to keep the ranch, and not so much to make a lot of money, but just to be able to keep their heritage.
Times have changed, and where we relied mostly on sheep and cattle, it's no longer the case anymore for us. I think you have to expand your enterprises. I think the ranch heritage is important, but I think you won't have the ranch if you can't keep it running. We'll always have some use for the sheep and cattle. I don't think it's going to go away, but it doesn't pay the bills as much as it used to. When I walk around the ranch and I work in a certain part of the pasture and I see evidence of my ancestors and I know the history, I kind of feel like my DNA is in the dust, is in the soil.
My connection to the ranch is a long time of history. We talked about the history of Joseph and Lawrence, Tweedy, and all the cousins coming in the summertime to work. Well, when I took over the ranch after Dad died, we similarly do the same thing.
My family lived on another ranch, and we would always drive over for Sunday afternoon or a reunion or a party or whatever. And there's a hilltop that you top when you go out the Knickerbocker Road, and I always loved it. It's like a roller coaster to me. And I always think of it because that's what our grandparents rode that same road when they would come back and forth to town. As Drew said, there are so many memories and so many stories have been told. So you don't have to live there to have the heartbeat.
When the shearers would come, they'd come with a school bus, and there was always a wonderful cook, and Dad and Chico at the time, Paul Martinez's father, he would slaughter goats for the shearers, and they would barbecue them. And as children, they had sacks, and they'd put the sacks around the ring. And when the sheep were sheared, they'd throw the bundles of wool into the sack. And they always had little kids that would jump onto the wool and pack it down. It was an exciting time.
Thank you to the Joseph Tweedy family for their contributions to our West Texas heritage.